heart? What is your backup plan or something like that? So basic, that's what is on the blog for today. That's what's on the blog for today. Welcome again. Migration process is still ongoing. We are still in the migration process, and we just entered a new month. Welcome to the month of June. Welcome. It's a great month, one of us. Migration is still ongoing. I think we have like 60 days left. But if we take the whole month of July and we take the whole month of June, July, I think we have like 60 days to migration, or to the end of migration. The cookie reward was extended for a week. It should be a week. A cookie reward redemption was extended for a week, but because it's going to end on the 7th of July, on the June 2018, meaning this month. That's like 6 days away to the end of the redemption. If you have not redeemed your cookies, please go and redeem your cookies. Please go redeem your cookies. You can do your verification on the new web wallet. The article, the post for the instructions are there. The Whitefish lady did a video on that. The Whitefish lady, she did a video on how to confirm it. The friendly marketer, Mr. David Jones, also did a video on how to verify your cookie reward. Good afternoon, Mrs. Sharon. Mr. Dan Lutz also did a video on how to verify how to verify your cookie rewards on the new web wallet. I think I also did one video that talked about it. All right, so we just have to redeem our cookies on or before the 7th of June 2018. Then The Voice did a very short video yesterday. I saw it yesterday. I think I saw it in the night on the cruise. I've not talked about the cruise for a long time now, but there is a cruise, a gathering on a cruise, on a Caribbean cruise, for our 3rd year. Good afternoon, Mr. Stephen Coffey. For our 3rd year anniversary. Okay, Tunisians from all over the globe will be gathering on a cruise. It's a 7 days cruise. Right? It's such an awesome cruise, and that we need to partake in. Okay, so it's a 7 days cruise. If you log into your Pringle Card back office, you find most of the details there. Okay, so the Voice of TBC, Mr. Randy Wilson, did a video on the announcement of a cruise, the cruise competition. There's a cruise competition, and you just got to go see that video. Subscribe to his channel. You will find the video there that he spoke about one Tunisian who will be in the same, let me call it bunk, with him and his spouse for the 7 days. Now, the competition is my major focus. The competition is the best TBC referee. Okay, those who refers people more, not just the people who paid their excuse me, people who paid their on $10 KCBO, which is a criminal cashback office. All right, those are the persons who will get the reward. All right, so let's not get to business. Let's start working. Okay. Now, away from that, we are going to dive into what we have for today. And what we have for today is stand up for something. Stand up for something. Okay, that's what we have for today. Stand up for something. Okay, the idea for this topic is, we'll find out that the word is, most persons say the word just follow with the norm. They just follow with the norm. And if you try to help them know something that is against what they know, they kind of like, they're on a protective edge. They just they attack you. Okay. Somebody once said that if you have watched The Matrix, that those of us who are waking are like Neo in The Matrix, and those who have not woken up are like the machines. And the machines protect the Matrix. Okay, why? Because they are not awakened yet. They are not awakened yet. So that is our subject of discuss today. We just want to go over it so that we can find those persons who are having an indifferent mindset, can let that indifferent mindset go. Right? Now, stand up for what you believe, even if it's analogy to fully describe what we are talking about. Even if it means you are standing alone. Okay? If we are standing alone, if we are standing alone, then it means that we are right. Okay? Because everybody is used to traveling on a single path. If you break away from that path, then you are going against what is acceptable. You are going against what is the norm, the order of doing things. For a child decides not to get the government education system anymore, that goes against what is known. And because of that, the child is a non-entity in society. Look, I'm saying it from the standpoint of Africa here, where I reside. If a child says he won't go to school, that he wants to do one or two different things, maybe like going to sporting or stuff like that, the parents, you will see the parents, they come out with this angry attitude. What are you saying? Why won't you go to school and stuff like that? They kind of like cuts down everything that is allocated to the child, or to get to the child, to just accept the norm. Okay, now the child refused to accept the norm, but the parents who are not working here are saying to the child, you must go with the programming. If you don't go with the programming, then we are not going to support you in any way. You see, they're being alone. And that is how society has been built. You either go with the program or you are called all sorts of names. You are taken as a threat. You are taken as a threat. For instance, when we begin to wake up people to understand how this banking cartel seem to be robbing the people, a lot of people kind of like kick against it. They kind of like tell you, what are you not saying? That I shouldn't bank anymore? I shouldn't put my money in the bank? See, their mind is not yet awake, right? Sometimes it is hard to have your own opinion in a society. It is hard to have your own opinion. For instance, we have this opinion, we have our opinion, our belief about TBC. It is hard. We are going to come to it. It is hard. People kind of like, they look at you like a fool. They look at you like an idiot. We're going to get to it soon. They feel like you don't know what you're... Where would this your daydream end? They with that mindset, they try to incapacitate you. Okay? People don't like it when they see someone straying away from the norm. They don't like it. Because in some way, it threatens how they perceive the world. So people don't really appreciate it. So in standing alone, we have to know this, that people are not just going to automatically embrace and say, oh yes, you're doing what is right, okay? Because it's a threat. They have been programmed, like most of us were at a particular time, okay? But they have been programmed to think in a certain direction. The minute we begin to go against what they know, then it becomes a threat of the case, right? So, oftentimes, people become defensive. I spoke about it. People become defensive and criticize people who decide to challenge the norm. Even the government will criticize it. Even the government will become defensive. All right? I'm talking from Nigeria. I've seen cases that I've told people that if our government, the government will not just totally accept cryptocurrency for some certain reasons. One of such reasons is cryptocurrency would have enriched a group of people, the poor, and most of the time, these normal people will become too rich that most of these persons in power. So how do you expect them to just automatically agree to such a plan? All right. So of need a scam. They'll come up with all policies. They don't want it to be better than them. Mr. Stephen Covey said they are in a poverty mindset. Very, they call it fraud. They'll come up with policies that will want to limit the functionality of such idea within their territory. Okay, so like I said they decide to perverse they decide to preserve what they are comfortable with. Mr. Don Iwa gave a very beautiful post on Facebook, I think 3 days ago. I saw the post and I shared the post. Now, the post centered around Noah. I'm going to quote what he said. So while I was writing this, the quote came to my mind, right? While I was preparing what I was going to say, the quote now came to my mind. Now, Noah is a good case study. There are so many case studies. Noah is a good case study. We have the 3 Hebrew boys. They are also good case study. We have Joseph, who is also a good case study, who stood for something. Okay, he stood for something, but right. Started to rain. That was the quote that Dan gave, and that is true. Could you imagine? Be proud of this time. It has not rained anywhere on the planet. Proud to this Noah's case. There was no rain anywhere for the number of years. From Genesis chapter 1 to the point where we now have Noah, which came in somewhere in Genesis chapter 6 or so, until the point where we now have Noah, there was no rain. Now, here comes a man named Noah. This is exactly what how people perceive Thebesians when they are telling them this is what is happening. This is what we are doing. We are building an ark. Okay, our case is not different from the case of Noah. That is why we have to stand up for it. We have to be bold. We have to be resilient enough. Okay, here comes a man, Noah, telling the multitude of people that the flood is coming. They mocked him to scorn. Noah told them the rains are going to come down heavily, floods will be released, and the world will be destroyed. They all him to scorn. They even laughed him to scorn even more when Noah said his God told him. Now, guys, to be frank, that was really, in a natural sense, that was stupid. Okay? Noah followed that stupidity to the end. He decided to build the ark. He built the ark and built the ark. It took him days to build the ark, to put it together. He never allowed the perception of the people around him to influence what he believed in. And that is the problem. Many of us allow the perception of people around us to influence our belief and our functionality in the TBC community. We have to let their emotional thought pattern be their emotional thought pattern, while we have our own belief system that we are working with. Okay, we have to have it, and it has to be strong enough, stronger than the perception of others. Noah continued to build, and he built it to the last day. He got all the animals in because he believed. So he stood for, he got all the animals in, and suddenly, yet comes the rain. The rain came down so heavily that a lot of people drowned. He stood for what he believed. Another case is Abraham. Whoa, that's a good example. Abraham seemed so stupid to people. I'll tell you why it seems so stupid. Have you ever found yourself to be in a situation where you say to yourself, I am not broke, but in your pocket, you don't even have a dime. Maybe the account is reading red. There's no dime. Yet, someone says to you, say to yourself, I'm a multi-billionaire. And not just say to yourself, start telling people. Have you considered that? Just try to create the scenario in your mind that you are doing that. How do you think people will look at you? This one is drunk or is insane. His name was Abram, but God said, no, your name is now Abraham. Exalted Father has become Father of many nations. That is what you start calling yourself. And he was not having one. And at that time, people know the meaning of names. Guys, yet Abraham stood for what he believed. He stood for it. No matter the mocking, no matter the laughter, no matter what people did, he stood for what he believed, and he kept pressing towards it. He kept working. When we stand for what we believe, we are not immobilized. No, we act, we move, we take actions that connect with what we believe in. That is what it means to stand up for something, stand up for humanity, stand up for freedom, stand up for the abundance that TBC is granting to people. We have to stand up for this truth. There's abundance in the word, and it is for all. The Bible said that the riches of the earth is for all, not for some. The riches of the earth is for all, not for some. Right now, some are the ones taking the riches of the earth, leaving every other person as stranded. No, we have to stand up for what belongs to us. If it was not so, then we would have been told. Okay? So Dan Iwa ended the quote by saying, keep building. Okay? That's the end of his quote. Yes, we have to stand up, we have to rise up, we have to move up. All right, sir. We have to keep moving, keep working. Okay? Despite its risk, standing up for what you believe in against adversity is crucial to achieving happiness. Against the risk, standing up for what we believe in is very, very crucial. Never wanting to risk looking like a fool is the emotional fears that regulate people from standing up. Never wanting to risk looking like a fool is the emotional fears that regulates people from standing up. They don't like feeling out of place. That's the truth. So they just feel like fitting in. We have been fitting in and we have been robbed. We have been deprived. This is not the time to start fitting in anymore. This is the time to start standing up. Don't fit in, stand out. Don't fit in, stand out. You are your own person. You are in charge of what you do. You get to decide what you want and what you like. The whole world, the power that be, need to understand that you are a living being. Some words, we meaning of the words, understand words. Good afternoon, good morning, Miss Medlock. We have to make them understand that we are the ones given words, giving meaning to the earth. The earth was created. They need to, you and I, a living being of awesome worth. Awesome worth. Guys, they have to understand this. And we have to know it. We have to have this awakening. We are not ordinary. We are not commoners. We are people of worth. We are of abundance. We are the ones who give meaning to the world. It is not your system that they created. We are the ones giving meaning to the world. We elected the government into power. We gave them power. We have to make them understand that we are people of worth. With our own goals, our own dreams, our own, not someone, not some robot to do their bidding. I left 2 posts on my Facebook page. I was amazed. You know, the TBC admin released a post of the microchip that a lot of people will be microchipped. That's where the world is going to. Okay, I was watching a video yesterday. Man, it is mind blowing. And they are going to, the way they are going to infiltrate the economy, the way they are going to infiltrate the society will blindly follow. They started propagating that the ATM card is no longer safe. The reason being that the chip on the card falls off. And when it falls off, anybody can pick it and put it on some other ATM card and rob you. They started propagating. The news have started. Now, and they have promoters. They have people who are promoting this agenda. Now, as if that was not enough, I saw a company who made all of his employees to chip themselves. They chipped themselves in order for them to gain access to the company. Without the chip, they cannot gain access to the company. I said, my God. And a lot of people don't know what is happening. So guys, with this, I want to end on the note that the great Martin Luther King Jr. gave a quote, and this is the quote: "The ultimate tragedy is not the oppression. The ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and the cruelty by the bad people, but the silence all over by the good people. That is the quote that Martin Luther King Jr. gave. And with that, I want to end today's broadcast. We have to stand up for something. We have to stand up for freedom. We have to stand up for abundance. It is our right. We have to keep talking to everybody around us. TBC is here for a greater benefit for humanity. With this, I want to say a big thank you to Mr. Stephen Coffey, Sharon Weller for coming, Miss Medlock, and every other person who came across or who came to my live broadcast today, and for every other person that will come across this video. Thank you. Please click the thumb up button and help share this video to as many persons who are out there. Until we see you again next week, stay blessed and bye-bye.
Assemble yourself.